Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for today's Seer Showcase. I'm kindly joined by George at Portatour. George, how are
Hi,
you?
I'm fine, thank you. Hi. Greetings from Vienna, Austria.
A far more beautiful place than where I am in sunny Swindon at the minute. Welcome. But George, as I understand it, you're going to show us a bit of magic around route optimization today and a bit of route
Yes,
planning.
yes, yes. Yes, I'm going to do that. It's a very neat tool to support salespeople who are out there on the field, traveling all day, to be a real supportive thing that they can concentrate on what they do best, which is sales, and not to worry about where to go next and calendars and all that crap. So, um, if you're ready, well, I'm ready to go.
Absolutely. I'm hoping you're going to show me how I can clear up my diary.
Perfectly, yes. So let's have a look at it. What you should see right now is a simple map. We look now at the sales rep working in and around Munich. And as you can see all the clients of this salesperson on a map. You have little green tags, which are customers which have been visited recently. You have yellow tags, which show that those should be visited now. And as you can guess, the red tags are the ones which are overdue. Now, basically what you see is a web application. Means for Portatour, you don't have to install anything whatsoever. You just need the latest browser version and a link, and you're set there. Just upload your clients and you're ready to go. Especially now with Microsoft Dynamics, you have a perfect synchronization. So anything that you have in Dynamics, all your leads, contacts, whatever you have there, accounts are at the same time in Portatour, and anything you do in Portatour is being reported directly in Microsoft Dynamics at the same time. Now, the dilemma every salesperson has, looking at the whole map, where to go next, right? Whom to visit first, go there, look in Google Maps, have a map in your office and put pin needles and whatever. That's a nightmare as it is. So how does Portador do the trick? So basically, each of these clients has a call interval, a visit interval, where you can see a frequency of visits, let's say every week, every 14 days, every 3 weeks, every half a year that you visit them. That's one thing that Portador can look at, and at the same time when you have been there the last time. So that gives it some kind of urgency, and also the distances. Now, with all this data given on the map, last visit, call intervals, and all of that, Portatudo simply can calculate for you a suggestion for an optimated route. Now, how does that look? I simply go here in my schedule and I said, Portatudo, please give me an idea what I could do for today and for the next days. And I immediately get here a suggestion. For today, I'm able to visit 3 clients today. How about tomorrow, Wednesday? I got more, and Thursday and Friday as well. Now, how does that look on a map? Because if I look at this now, this is just a list, but where am I going? So it takes here my home location near Munich, and it brings me up here and makes a nice tour around here. And at the end of the day, it brings me back here. Same goes with Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And if I want to have a glimpse at the whole week, I just press here these 4 squares and I can see the whole week being ready laid out for me. That's where I will be working around. Now, how does that come into place? Well, if I look at my calendar, I already had some fixed appointments which came in from Dynamics, which I had arranged previously. So I have here a meeting that's already there. I did book some office time where I have to answer some emails and do reporting. And next week I also had 2 fixed appointments, and Portatudo filled all the gaps around that nicely. Now, is that the calendar as I like it, as I would like to have it? Maybe I need to make some adjustments. And what I did here is I marked all those clients, the very important ones with the little diamond here, to make a phone call and make sure that they are visited at the time when they want me to be visited. So I will call Carsten Ziegler, and he says, you know what, George? I prefer if you come on Thursday. If possible, come at 10 in the morning. I push him over here. With just one finger movement, I can put him over here. That's the time I want him to have. Next, I call Rod Bettina, and Rod Bettina says, you know what? You come on Wednesday. I don't care what time of the day. It's just flexible. Just it should be on Wednesday. Now, what else happens? my wife calls in and says, "Hey, sweetheart, please do not forget, we have a birthday party on Thursday afternoon. Could you be back in at 4 p.m.?" So I simply drag my home location to the time when I should be at home, and I'm all set here. Now, what you can see is that I messed up a bit my calendar. Here I have a conflict. Here should be some clients at the same time when I should be at home. And this is somehow like the feng shui of Portugal. You can say if there are some fixed appointments, these are like the stones in the river, and all those suggestions, these little white flags here, they are moving around like water in a stream. So the only thing I have to do with Portatour is I click on that button over here, which updates my schedule, and everything is in order now. You've seen Bettina has been around lunchtime. She has been moved to an appointment at about 3:30. Uh, that fits nicely. Everything around it is back in. You see all those clients which have been in conflict with the time when I've been home earlier have been moved to another time. How does next week look? Everything well here. What happens if I want to go on a vacation? Well, you simply mark the day and say this is a day off. If you say it's Thursday and Friday, I start on Thursday. Hang on. I start on Thursday the 2nd, and I have Friday the 3rd off as well. Save that. And you see here now there's a conflict with all those appointments. Well, not really a conflict. As soon as I update my schedule, these will be pushed to the future. I have nicely my day off and everything works fine again. So you can move around the calendar however you need it, and Portrait will always make sure that you can meet the clients that you want to meet. Now, what happens if somebody is calling in and says, "Hey, listen, I need an appointment with you. When can you be there?" I simply go to my customer list and I search for Miss Fuchs. She's calling. Heike Fuchs is calling. She says, "Please, can you come by?" And here's a very nice function in Portrait that says, "Find suitable day. I want to have it this week." And Portrait tells me, "Look, the deviation today would be almost an hour, tomorrow 40 minutes, but Friday I can really make it nicely to put it in with just 24 minutes in deviation, 25 kilometers of the way." So I simply click on the calendar, say, "Miss Fuchs, please stay on the line. Um, I make here an appointment, say flexible on the day. Uh, I update my schedule. And as you see, she has an appointment. I can say, "Miss Fuchs, is it okay for you just a little bit after 11 in the morning? I'll pop up at your place." She says, "Perfect, that's fine." And I'm set. So I can always find a gap for my clients whenever they need that, just as it fits in the schedule. And you see everything's nicely moving around that. Now, how does it look for me when I'm out on the road? You see, I have here 3 appointments. Let's have a look at the schedule. You see here for today, I start from my home location. I see it's 57 minutes to the next address. I can make sure that traffic is well. I have here a little nice button that says, "Okay, live traffic works for me. I'll be on time even around Munich." Perfect. How would it look on my smartphone? And Portable has been optimized especially for the use of the smartphone. You see here, the little dot here is my finger with what I move the screen. I simply can do all the functions I can do on the big screen, also here on my mobile, and usually would click here on my next client and I would go for navigation. Now to show you that on the big screen, let's go back here. If I click on my client, the next thing I do is I click on navigation. So Portable hands over the address of Tanya Horn to my navigation system. It brings that address here and it takes my current location and gives me turn-by-turn directions to go exactly to my client. Now, once I reach my client and I had my meeting, I press on Call Now. I can enter here all documentation that I need. I can have here also a absolutely customized call report. Let's say this is a must field. I have to say which articles are interesting to her. I can even upload a picture. I save that, and now I have the report here. If I look back in my schedule, I see here a little check mark. and Horn Tanya has been visited. Now, Portatour knows because I said I've been there where I am now and gives me the next directions to Marcus Horn. Again, same game. I press on navigation. I'm getting turn-by-turn directions to get there. But once I'm there, I find he is not there. So Horn Marcus is not there. So I click on missed and Portatour knows now, okay, I still have to go there, but today I can't reach him. I can now quickly look who is around, who could I visit next here. I simply look here on my map and see where am I. I'm here in Landsberg am Lech, and I say, hey, listen, this is a good thing. I'll go over here. Yes, that's perfect. That's a person who's interested in our products. I will simply go there. As you know now the drill, you click on navigation, you get the turn-by-turn directions, and as soon as the visit over, I press called now, fill in my call report with everything that has to be there, and save it, and that custom is done for the day. How does my schedule look now? You see here, I did that. And if I have more time, which is given, I simply can update my schedule and I might get even more clients to visit today because I was very fast. You see, he takes the address from the last customer where I've been, and this brings in the next thing. So what happens with all those clients which are suggestions? If I go there and if I do not go there, what will happen? And actually what I like to call it, it's the spouse nagging feature. So what is that? Whenever you miss out on a client which has been suggested to your schedule, it will come back on to your calendar as long as you have not visited the client. Now, what do I mean with nagging spouse? Just imagine your spouse says, darling, please bring down the rubbish. And until you have brought down the rubbish, that feature will not turn off, right? You will hear bring down the rubbish till you've done that. And the same happens with Portatour. So if clients have to be visited, they will come back and back in your schedule, back again, so that you visit them. So for you as a salesperson, you can lean back, say, okay, Portatour, you do the planning for me. I can make my fixed appointments. You fill up the gaps that I have. If I take longer or shorter, no matter, I will always have the perfect schedule, especially on the perfect routes. And I can never miss out on any client because even if I forget that I should visit Peter Brown, no problem. He will pop up in my schedule that I will see him again. So that's basically the function of Portatour. It just takes off whole planning effort. You see, with 2 clicks, I got the whole calendar full with suggestions, anything that I need, and it's completely synchronized with your calendar that you have in Microsoft Dynamics 365. So that is a complete cross integration. So any appointment that you have in your Dynamics is populated in Portatour and the other way around, so you can always see what's going on. Now, all these reports, they are then activities at your clients. You can also take your leads and everything that can be used within your calendar. So the flagship of Portatour, route planning. But we have also a second thing which I would like to show to you, which is more like a strategic thing for sales management, and that is territory optimization. If we talk about territory optimization, what does it mean? So basically, if you look at the map here, you can see that here overlaps in the colors. That means that this sales rep, Jürgen Weiss, he's also going into the territory of Christina Ziegler. So there's an overlap, and you can guess it already. Hey, there is an optimization potential that this does not happen. So first of all, you can see that you can evenly distribute all the clients among your territory. The second thing, which is also interesting, is to see how is it with the workload. So as you see here, on average, I have a workload of 113% for my team, given the field service hours that they have, number of clients, call duration, call time per week. I can calculate the workload, and this includes, as you just saw, the real routes. There's no estimation here that like beelines, wherever an estimator. No, it's really using and calculating the real travel time that the salesperson has to achieve to visit all his clients. So as you can see, Christina Ziegler here, she has 146, and Alexander Winter has only 87% of the workload. All right. Just to remember that. And if you want to start an optimization, you simply go here on Start Optimization, and with just no information whatsoever, just make that better. Portrait already has two objectives. One is lowest total driving time and a balanced workload. Means if I take the lowest driving time, of course, I will save most on driving time, like in that case for my team, 36 hours per week. If I go to a more balanced workload, it's only saving 8.2 hours because these are two directions which are opposing each other. Now, how does that look into the details? I see calculated, I have already 7 options to look from. So workload completely balanced, around 100%, and I can move on to more and more low driving time. So me as a sales manager, I can select which is the best for me, right? I can see what is the best for my team, and I can also see that on the map. So if I look here, you see it changes the territories as we go. Now, this is one thing, but here comes the strategic thing. If I look at my initial situation, I now find out that Alexander Winter, who on the map is over here, this guy, he's going to retire. Now I need to have a backup plan. What is happening? So first of all, I want to see what's happening. Is it possible that the rest of the team can manage the clients of Alexander? Well, let's have a look. I simply say here, he hands off all his clients. So all his clients are being distributed among the team, and it just start optimization. And you see, it's like you can't even go for a coffee. You already got a result. So looking here on the details, well, the workload of Alexander Winter is 0%, as expected. And you see it has been distributed, well, a little bit evenly, but still at 116%. So it is still a lot for the team to handle. Well, if you have 10 guys and one is no longer there, then of course you have to somehow handle that. And here comes now a very interesting thing, something that we just have added to Portatour recently. I can add new hires. And I can tell Portatour, please, you do the automatic. You not only tell me how many people I would need for my territory, but also you determine automatically their home location, where I should look for them to hire them, right? So, okay, Portatour, here you go. We now know Alexander Winter is no longer in the game. He's handing off, and Portatour is allowed to place as many as new sales reps as could be needed. And I start my optimization again, and let's see what it brings to me. So Portatour gives me now the information that I can be 1 new hire, wow, 2 new hires, or 3 new hires. Well, let's have a look at the map, what that means, right? If I look at 0 new hires, you see this little square, the red square is Alexander Winter, who has gone out. If I say 1 new hire, then you see here that rhombus, that's where the suggested new person would be, new here. That would be the territory. The brown one would be within here, and that's a suggestion for the thing here. If I look at 2 new hires, the situation changes. You see, 1 new is up here, and 1 is down there, right? The red one and the lilac one, or violet. Now, at maximum, it offers 3 new hires. So I have 1 here, 1 down here, and where is the third? The third is up here, right? And if you zoom in, you can also see, I have to find here a guy who lives around here that it makes really the optimum results. The same goes with here, near Braunschweig, and the same goes down here when I look near New Ulm or near Günzburg, right? So Portatour not only tells you how the territory should look like, but also in what kind of radius you should look like for the new person. Now that's just on the map. Now I would like to see the details, what's going on. Well, I mean, it's to be expected. If you hire 3 new guys instead of 1, of course the workload really goes down nicely. 75%. I mean, that's an easy run for all of them. Okay, let's see. How about 2 new hires? Well, 84.9. But if I replace only with 1 hire, well, then we adjust nicely around 100%. And I can also go here for the balanced workload, and you can see exactly what's happening. Now, you see here all this information that I have. Let's also go on the map and see what happens if I change here between balanced workload and total driving time, right? You see here also that is changing, and sometimes it even moves the location of the guy. How do you now communicate that to your sales team? First of all, you can also renegotiate and say, okay, some clients have to stay with the current guy. They have to stay there and they are not allowed to be moved. But if they're allowed to be moved, you can look here at the application here and see, look, how is the change happening? Kai Richter here, he's losing all the red ones, he's gaining the green ones, and the white ones are the ones that stay as they were. Let's have a look at Christina Ziegler. Well, she's losing everything in Saarbrücken and down here in Stuttgart, but she's gaining these green ones. So her territory becomes much more compact, and she can see everything that's going on nicely in her territory. So that's also a way to do that. Let's have a look at one more. The new hire, of course, that's only green, all new for him. And you also know where to position that person. Right. What you can also see here, when you do that, you can see how many metric tons of CO2 you can save per year. That has been requested from us. So if you have here balanced workload, you see like you save only 6.7 metric tons. But if you save completely on the driving time, you almost save 20 metric tons. And I would like to show you something that we added as we are, well, our features are driven by what our clients need. If I look here on the details, we were asked about the driving distance that each of the sales rep is doing, right? And why would you need that? Because what if you have hired cars, right? If you have them on leasing or whatever, you need to know what is the total drive. So I can say I want to have the yearly driving time, the yearly driving distance, and I can see now, hey, this guy is doing 60,000 kilometers, this guy is doing almost 90,000 kilometers, and that gives you also the benefit that you can negotiate nice rates with your car vendor. So everything that we do here is customer driven. And I still see I have some more time left, which is nice. Now, I just looked at low driving time and balanced workload. If I want to go to the next level, I say I want to distribute all the A clients among my sales team evenly. And I can do that quite simple. I add here some key figures. I say I want to have all A customers into that. And if I look now at my analysis, I will see here that I have on average 55 A customers for each of the sales reps. As you can see here, some have 65, some have 55, and I want to optimize that. How can I do that? I say here, I want to have at least 57 for each. Now, you will say, hey, George, average was 55. That's mathematically not possible. How 57? Well, I want to test Portatour because some of the systems that are out there in the market, if you put a number that doesn't compute, they simply crash. Now let's see what Portatour is doing. Come on, Portatour, show me what you've got. Is it possible for you? Can you do that? Or what will you give? Give me an error message and say, hey, go back to the initial parameters, change that. I can't compute that. Well, it does. It tells me, hey, listen, I can't reach all custom figures, but it did. It shows here all the red figures are the ones which cannot be accomplished. So I wanted 55, it only 54 here, or 52. But I did here with the black numbers 57. So Portatour allows you to get even results if you ask the impossible. If you ask something which is not computable, Portatour does not crash. It simply says, listen, this is what I am able to do. And this is what you get. And you still can change that and say, look, I want a completely balanced workload, and also look at all the other options to get that into that. You're allowed to add up to 10 custom figures that you can optimize, and giving you extra parameters for that. That Portatour can show you what is the optimized idea here, how you can have a look at a really optimized territory. And again, you can see the initial situation and the optimization results. And there you go. You have a nice optimized territory, which you can also optimize 2 by 2, whatever you would like to look at. And it's just a nice way to plan for the things that you, as a sales manager, as a sales operations manager, have to look at if you want to steer your team in the best way possible. All right, so that's about Portatour. You have the two things that we can offer to you. You have the route optimization, that we do the route planning with you. You just click at the button and you get a complete field calendar in, saving time, less kilometers, and you are able to visit more clients at the same time. And you can also optimize your territory, that you have exactly those clients with your sales reps where you want to have them. That's about Portatour. And last but not least, a good information for you in the background, we work seamlessly, definitely, with Microsoft Dynamics CRM. All data that we host on our end is hosted within Vienna, so we are completely data secure within the GDPR for Europe. All your data is safe. We have a lot of companies who have medical data and everything, so that's all safe. Nobody's allowed in the private cloud. Everything's safe. Even the maps are bought, so we are not relying on any third-party services. Everything is going on within Portatour, and of course within your Microsoft CRM Dynamics. And that's it for today. Have you any questions?
I don't think I've seen any questions from the floor, but George, honestly, every time I see the demo, it blows me away. And even since I've last seen it, you've introduced some new features, which is just, well, wowed me again. But so colourful, so seamless, and I can absolutely see where the benefit of this would be to end customers in terms of implementing this system. Like you say, savings, times, and most importantly, the environment, which we're really keen on. But George, that has been absolutely perfect. We've obviously got an email at the bottom, so if there are any follow-up questions, please feel free to reach out directly or get in contact with myself and be able to pass those on. But thank you so much for joining us, everyone. George, thank you for your time again. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having us. And, well, good luck with your roads. Have a great time. Thanks.